where I'd be. Scott, thank you.
This is great.
Appreciate that
I do
a
like
lot.
this.
I really do.
Much, much better. I've been ready.
Good evening. I'd like to call our meeting to order tonight. I'd like to lead us in our prayer. And right from our prayer, we'll go into the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Higginbotham, call roll, please.
Councilman Rose. President Logan.
Here.
Councilman Sullivan.
Here.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Item 5 is approval of the agenda. We've got our agenda. We had one, I think John Powell wants to do something under his business, but we'll get to that in a minute. Nonetheless, I want to make a motion to approve the agenda as printed. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 6, visitors to address our council. We may or may not have this individual, Mr. Todd Palmer. He may not be here in attendance. So, at any rate, Mr. Palmer, we called you, and we will be in contact. 8A1, under new business, is a first reading of an ordinance ordering the demolition of unsafe structures located at 1100 15th Court. Mr. Stevens.
Yes, sir. This is a residential structure that had some fire damage or caught fire and is kind of deteriorated to a state of nuisance and public safety hazard. So this is the first reading to order demolition of that structure.
All right, thank you. I'll offer that for first reading. Second item is a first reading ordering the demolition of an unsafe structure located at 2207 26th Avenue. Mr. Stevens.
Yes, sir. This is another residential structure that's deteriorated to a state of nuisance and public safety hazard, and this is a first reading for the ordinance to order demolition.
Thank you. I'll make that for a first reading. Item 3 is a first reading of a permanent resolution authorizing the condemnation of property pertaining to the Union Chapel Road realignment project. Mr. Davis.
Yes, Mr. President, we would ask that the council consider suspending the rules and voting on this tonight. As you know, for several months now, we've been working on eliminating the 2 traffic signals at the Union Chapel 69 North intersection. This is an 80-20 split with the state paying 80%. They've been very helpful in moving when they've been negotiating with the various property owners. They've been successful with 4. There's one that still has not agreed, and so they wanted to proceed to condemnation, and this would allow that to happen. So basically, once the probate court sets the amount, we will pay that in court. We can go ahead and let the contract, and then if the property owner wishes to continue on trying to set a fair price, something that they're agreeable with, they can settle it at some point later, but this allows us to go ahead and proceed with this project.
All right.
We'd ask you to suspend the rules.
All right. Also, too, this is 100% reimbursable, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Make sure we put that on record. It's 100% reimbursable by the TCRIC. In a nutshell, in the interest of time, suspension of rules, the city is going to continue to move forward. This particular property owner is going to move toward the condemnation process, but it won't stop the project.
That's correct.
Okay.
And just to add one more thing, Mr. President, this is not the building itself. This is all property behind it where the cut-through road is now, if you're familiar with that area. It's not the actual building itself, so it's going to be property that's not really used at the moment anyway. So
That's correct. The realignment now will go between the Dollar General store and the Shell station. So you'll just go straight rather than taking a right and a left.
correct. The
as you
main
have to
intersection of Union Chapel Road will now be in between Dollar General, Shell Station, at that intersection.
That's correct. And as you pointed out in the opening session, there are a lot of right turn lanes and things
That's
like that
correct.
to hopefully help the flow of traffic along both Union Chapel and US 69, or Highway 69 rather.
All right. Thank you, Ron. Is there a motion to suspend the rules to immediately consider the authorization condemnation process of property pertaining to the Union Chapel Road realignment project?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, under suspension of the rules, gentlemen and ladies, is there a motion to adopt the permanent resolution authorizing the filing of condemnation proceedings for property owned by FHP LLC, or better known as Shell Services Station? Although, let the record show it's not the actual station, it's the property in the back, at the intersection of Highway 69 and Union Chapel Road.
I'll make that motion, Mr.
That's a
President.
motion by Councilman Sullivan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Davis. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
8B1 is a resolution appointing a member to the Mental Health Board of Bibb, Pickens, and Tuscaloosa counties. Mr. Higginbotham.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. Mr. Randy Phillips, the Executive Director for the Indian Rivers Mental Health Center, has requested that Mr. Ricky T. Chambliss be appointed to fill the vacancy to the Board of Directors. Mr. Chambliss does reside in the city of Northport. If you do move forward with this recommendation, his term will run until June of 2024. It's a 6-year term.
All right, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve that resolution appointing Mr. Ricky Chambliss to fill a vacancy on the Mental Health Board of Bibb, Pickens, and Tuscaloosa counties, or better known as Indian Rivers Behavioral Health. Mr. Chambliss's term, of course, as Mr. Higginbotham mentioned, will expire June of 2024. That's in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Sir, President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 2 is a resolution authorizing our mayor's office to sign the final plat for the Hassan Center property on behalf of the city of Northport. Mr. Stevens.
Yes, sir. As part of the consideration surrounding the sale of the Hassan Center property, the city has put forth a preliminary plat to the planning commission. That'll be on next Tuesday night's planning commission agenda. Assuming the preliminary plat gets approved, the final plat can then be recorded, but it needs a signature from the owner of the property. So the purpose of this resolution is to authorize the mayor to sign the plat as the owner of the city's property.
All right, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve that resolution authorizing our mayor's office to sign the final plat for the Hassan Center property on behalf of the city of Northport. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Davis. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Consent agenda, ladies and gentlemen, there are 7 items. One item of note, item 3 is a PO requisition for the sign relocation in regards to the Union Chapel Road realignment at the Dollar General's part of the project. That's 11,201.86. And again, you probably saw a bigger number right below that. Number 4 is a PO requisition of payment towards a line of credit that the city had. It's $1 million payment out of our finance department, so we're actually paying our bills, which is great, which is travel and training. The other ones, minutes of the previous meeting and bill listing. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as printed?
Move to approve.
That's a motion by Councilman Sullivan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 9 is reports of special committees to council. If any member of respective committee or the mayor's office wanted to give a brief update.
Just voted on mine, so we're good.
All right.
Thank you for the stress relief. For not only me, but staff that had to deal with this, so.
All right. Any further business regarding special committees to council? All right, hearing none. Item 10 is public hearings. We have none on the agenda. Item 11, city administrator's business, Mr. Higginbotham.
None tonight, sir.
Item 12, departmental business. We have one request. I think John Powell Webb has a request for an amended item on the previous agenda. John?
Yes, President Logan, on the May 21st council meeting, under item 5, the consent agenda was a purchase requisition for emergency pump replacement at the Biscayne Hills Pump Station in the amount of $5,704. The amount printed on the agenda was $5,074, so it's a difference of about $630.
All right, thank you, John. So Ron, we need to make a motion to correct that consent agenda item price, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to correct the consent agenda item price in the amount of $5,704.00, requisition number 501564.
Second.
That's a motion by Councilman and a second by, Councilman Logan, and then second by Councilman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis,
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 13 is public comment. We have no citizens signed to speak. Item 14, mayor and council members' business. Councilman Rhodes, of course, is not here tonight. District 2 under my business. I think, Mr. Jobson, I've got one piece of information for you. You had referenced City Hall site, and I told you I didn't want to give you anything wrong, so I went and pulled Stephen Dethers's article from October 15th of 2017. And it said the city officials hired a Montgomery firm to price the property in May. They reported it was worth 2.1, but added they valued the site as if it were vacant, as no prudent investor would purchase the subject for its current use. So I hope that explains some, and this is a copy for your. Yes, sir, I will make sure you get that after the meeting. That's all I have under my business. Councilman Sullivan.
Just a couple things real quick. Woodrow, I know this isn't no city business. Those wings were good. He gets that. I know nobody else does. He does a good job cooking. Finally got to try it out this weekend since I missed the food truck event. Just want to ask everybody to please go vote tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I just ask you to simply go vote. We're hearing the turnout's going to be light. There's some very important races around here, and we all need to show up and do our job and vote tomorrow. So, And one other thing, and I planned to do this all day and forgot, but the reason I wasn't here last meeting was because my son was in the 5-year-old coach pitch championship game, and we won. So
About that.
I was going to bring the trophy, and I told myself all the way home to make sure I got it, and obviously I forgot it. So I just wanted to mention that. So that's all the business I have.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. District 4, Councilman Davis.
I have no business.
District 5, Councilman Hogg.
A lot of times we get out here and give some recognition to certain departments. I do want to say that I know that a lot of times they go unnoticed, but our utilities department want to shout out to the employees there that go above and beyond, and no one hears from the utilities department unless something bad happens. So it's always good to recognize those individuals. So just wanted to say thank you to our utilities department.
All right. Thank you, Councilman. Mayor Aaron.
Only thing I have to say is, it was nice to have the trucks by the tracks, the other week. It was, what I could see, a huge turnout, even though it was very, very hot. And I appreciate all who were there who worked to make sure that went on as a success. Public Works, of course, police, fire, and our staff up here. And it was well attended, and Woodrow's wings are good, along with his barbecue. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 15, we have a request for an executive session. Ron, would you give us a brief synopsis?
Yes, sir. We need to discuss some economic development issues, briefly discuss some pending litigation and some potential litigation. I'm going to make a wild guess at 45 minutes, and someone said that's Ron Davis time, so it may be longer, but anyway, we would not take any action when we come back. None's anticipated.
One thing I would request too, if there's no need for department heads to stay, that they go ahead and be able to leave too.
Okay.
I don't see anything from my end.
All right. You guys okay with that? Mayor, you all right with that?
I'm fine with that.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting into executive session to discuss potential litigation, economic development, or sale of city property? The session should take no longer than 45 minutes as per Ron Davis time. It is anticipated that the council will not take any action.
Make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Hogg. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Davis. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. Higginbotham.
And Councilman Hogg,
Yes.
Councilman Davis,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We're in executive session, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in 45 minutes. I don't.
Through early tonight, so we
I told Ron
We
he should
sticking
not
to the
use his
time.
extra time.
What's up, man?
That's right, I need to sign.